Okay, we have to talk about this incredible Nottingham Forest season so far. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Yesterday's video is going to be giving props, praise, attention and the spotlight to this fantastic team right here, Nottingham Forest Football Club, who are flying in the Premier League right now. It's a club with incredible history, incredible fans, and they are in the midst of an incredible season so far. Yes, we may only be 20 games or so into the campaign, but this team are flying high, and no one in their right mind would have predicted that they would be doing this well at this stage of the competition. This is a side that has been battling relegation ever since they got promoted back into England's top flight division a couple of years ago. Fast forward to today, the present day, they could be in the midst of a top four race. They could be in the midst of an incredible fairy tale season of a title race. Although we may actually be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves there. Take it one game at a time. But we of course need to talk about the potential, the possibilities of those two questions eventually being asked of this club, who are absolutely soaring right now in the Premier League table. And especially after Monday's 3-0 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Forest are doing unbelievably well, and full praise needs to go to the club, the fans, the players, and of course their manager, Nuno Espirito Santo. And we're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about all of that, the club, and much more in this video as we look ahead to the season and we look back on the season that has been so far for Nottingham Forest. But before we get into all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That will make for great interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people, and talk to me on the season so far that has been for Nottingham Forest and the incredible ride and journey that is going on right now with this club. I would love to know what you guys have to say and feel on all of that. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Nottingham Forest. Let's talk the season so far. Forest are soaring right now. There's no better word to put it. They have been incredible. They've been unbelievable. They've been the surprise package of the season so far for all the right reasons. You could maybe argue Man City have been the surprise package for all the wrong reasons so far this season. But for the right reasons, it is Nottingham Forest and Nuno Espirito Santo. Like I say, for the past couple of seasons, it's been a bit nervy, been a bit tetchy since coming back to the Premier League. It's been all about survival for Nottingham Forest. And this season, they've just totally blitzed that away. A lot of people, including myself, had them to be in a relegation fight. Well, 20 games into the season, they sit on 40 points, 12 games won, 4 games drew, 4 games lost. They are joint level on points with Arsenal. They are only third via goal difference. They are, at this moment in time, at least, in the midst of a top 4 race. They are 4 points away from fourth place Chelsea. They are 5 points away from 5th place Newcastle. And they are 6 points away from 6th place Nottingham Forest. They are the same level of points away from Nottingham Forest as they are to Liverpool, but they are obviously in between those two teams. It's been nothing short of incredible. It has been nothing short of phenomenal for Nottingham Forest so far during this campaign. A Forest side who have gone from strength to strength this season. And everything they touch seems to be turning to gold. Everything that Nuno Espirito Santo is doing seems to be turning to gold. I did a video a couple of months ago now talking about Forest and basically praising their incredible start to the season. But I question, how far can this last? Will things start to level out? Will the pressure eventually get to them and will they eventually fade? There's no signs of that happening so far. Now, I do hope that ahead of next week's game against Liverpool, that will obviously be a blip for them. But I always have a soft spot for Forest because obviously I grew up in the city. I live in the city. I grew up in the city. A lot of my friends are Forest fans. I have a soft spot for Nottingham Forest. But overall, I still would choose Liverpool over them. Of course I would. But at the same time, I have nothing but praise for Forest. I have nothing but a sort of proudness, and it's happy, and I'm very happy to see my friends happy that their football club is doing so well. It's been nothing short of phenomenal so far. Everything that they are doing right now is incredible. Their defensive structure is absolutely solid. They have got the joint second best defensive record in the Premier League so far. That's been absolutely phenomenal. That is a massive reason as to why they're doing so well. Because goals-wise, they've only scored 29 this season, which isn't a great deal of goals, especially for a team that high up in the division. But their defensive record has been so solid that's why they are where they are, essentially, so high up in the table. Their defensive structure has been solid, and full credit goes to the likes of Matt Sells for that, who I think's been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League so far. I think some of his saves have been incredible. He's kept Forest in some big moments, won Forest some big points, in my opinion, this season. He's been nothing short of incredible from a goalkeeper who, when I saw him last season, I thought he was pretty terrible. So he's proven me wrong there. Ola Aina, Nico Williams, the fullback situation, fantastic. Performed exceptionally well, been very consistent. Murillo partnering for the most part anyway this season. Their new signing Milenkovic, what a partnership that is! That is just an incredible partnership, much different from the likes of Joe Worrell of like a year or two ago. Like, massive upgrade there, and I think Milenkovic could arguably be one of the signings of the season, if not the signing of the season, because I just think he's been absolutely phenomenal for Forest, and has really helped tighten up their defence in a massive way. The midfield, it doesn't matter who they put in there. Mainly, it's like the likes of Ryan Yates and even the new summer signing in Elliot Anderson, who I think's been brilliant himself. I think he's been a worthwhile addition as well, and I think he's very much underrated in terms of when people talk about midfielders this year. They often talk about the likes of Ryan Gravenberch of Liverpool, Moises Caicedo of Chelsea. You can maybe throw Cole Palmer in there, Dejan Kulusevski, Declan Rice, but Elliot Anderson, for me, has been very underrated so far this season, and props to him, props to Forest for taking the gamble of signing him for such big money, because so far it is paying off. The guy is a workhorse, and him complementing Ryan Yates, who then both simultaneously complement their main creative force in Morgan Gibbs-White, the playmaker, the string puller, the orchestrator. He has been brilliant again this season. He's been very underrated himself these past couple of years, and then this season he's seemingly grabbed that spotlight and saying, like, if you're not going to put it on me, I'll put it on myself, because he's been brilliant. He's been rewarded with England call-ups as well. He has been fantastic for Forest in pulling the strings and orchestrating their attacks and creativity in that aspect. So nothing short of fantastic from him. You've got the tricky and pacey Callum Hudson-Odoi on one side. You've got the pacey and speedy Anthony Elanga on the other side. They have been absolutely phenomenal as well. And then, of course, you've got Chris Wood up front, who everything he touches turns to a goal. Like, the guy is incredible. And I'll say this once again. He signed for Forest for 15 million, and we all pointed and laughed. As much as we scratched our heads, we pointed and we laughed at Forest. What were they doing spending 15 million on a guy who couldn't cut it at Burnley, couldn't cut it at Newcastle, but for some reason, Forest took a gamble on him? Look who is laughing now. Forest fans. Because everything that guy touches turns into a goal. It's incredible. It's phenomenal, and I'm left in awe about it. I'm shocked. I'm surprised by it. But like I say, because I grew up in the city, because I still live here, because I have friends that are big Forest fans, there is a little part of me that is happy to see them have this level of success. And you know what? It's fantastic for the city. You can really tell when you're in and around. You can really tell on match days as well that there is a big sort of level of excitement and optimism. Of course, there are a few fans that are seemingly going over the top, but you're going to get that in every fan base. For me, I would say, and this would be my advice to Forest fans, just keep your feet on the ground. Enjoy the ride for what it is. Enjoy the ride for what it is, because you're going through a season right now which has got all the potential in the world of being something magical and something out of like a fairy tale. It could potentially turn out to be a Leicester type of season. We all know the Leicester season I'm on about. But at the same time, it's unlikely because no one was expecting it. But just keep your feet on the ground. The potential alone of playing, of possibly playing Champions League football for next season should be brilliant enough without going the extra mile of saying Premier League winners, and if we don't do it, it'll be a failure. I don't think anybody is, but I'm imagining, because there is in every fan base extreme fans that do that kind of thing. I'm just saying, keep your feet on the ground, keep level-headed, and enjoy the ride for what it is. Because if Forest were to get back in the Champions League for next season, that would just be fantastic in itself. Even any kind of European football would be fantastic for Nottingham Forest, because no one was expecting it. No one was expecting it, and yet that could genuinely be a possibility for next season. Could be absolutely brilliant in my mind. Could be absolutely fantastic to see Forest back in the thick of it and back in European football for the first time in a number of years. But yeah, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it, because there's always a caveat with success, especially when it comes to the lesser clubs of the Premier League. And now I'm not obviously demeaning them. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but considering obviously how you fell into the Championship for a number of years, your obviously status in the English football game kind of diminished a little bit over time. But when you've got players like a Milenkovic, like a Murillo, like an Elliot Anderson, like a Morgan Gibbs-White, that are performing exceptionally well right now, that are, I wouldn't say at the peak of their powers, but are performing brilliantly to a point where Nuno's getting the best out of them and getting more out of them than anybody ever thought they probably could get out of them. The big teams are going to be circulating. The big teams are going to have them players on their radar, on their monitor. And then it's all about how your club responds. Does your club replace like for like? Have they got replacements lined up? Because your defence has been a big part this season. But if they were to rip out the heart of that defence with I don't know, maybe say a Real Madrid or a Liverpool or an Arsenal that have been linked with the likes of Murillo coming in and taking him, maybe just plucking a random team out of the air, maybe a rebuilding Manchester United, for example, takes Milenkovic, maybe Elliot Anderson goes to a Liverpool, for example, or maybe a Morgan Gibbs-White goes to like an Arsenal or something, just plucking random teams out of the air. How does your club respond? Obviously, cross that bridge when it comes to it. Enjoy the ride for what it is. But I'm just saying that things can often turn like that. And we've seen so many times clubs get absolutely ransacked in transfer windows because their players have exceeded expectations. And because they've made a name for themselves. Because they've gained a lot of notoriety. And the big clubs have taken a shine and a notice to those players. So just enjoy it while it lasts. Just enjoy the ride while it lasts. You've been a fantastic surprise package this season. Nothing short of brilliant, nothing short of praise and spotlight deserves to be thrown onto this team, onto this club. But just don't get ahead of yourselves just yet. I'm praying you lose to Liverpool next week, by the way. I know you're at home. I'm praying you lose because it's going to be an absolute tough game. It's going to be fantastic to watch for neutrals, I'm sure. But, yeah, I'm praying you lose because, obviously, I do worry because you're the only team this season to have taken points from, well, to have actually beaten us so far. So, it would be fantastic if, obviously, Liverpool do win that game. It would be massive for us. But, simultaneously, I will say, it could be a massive statement for Forest if they were to go and win again. If they were to go and beat Liverpool again, that would be a massive statement. And then the pressure would really be on. And then the spotlight would really be thrown onto you. So I'm just getting in before everybody starts chiming in with their 2 cents on where Forest could end up this season. I think European football is a given this season. But whether it's going to be Europa Conference League, Europa League, or whether it's going to be the Champions League, I'm not 100% sure right now. I still think that there could be a bit of a drop-off period for Forest, and it's all about how they respond to that. But at this moment in time, enjoy the ride, because it is absolutely fantastic what you're doing right now. Nuno deserves extreme amounts of praise. Your players are performing magnificently. Enjoy the ride. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Nottingham Forest so far during this campaign? Where do you see Forest ending the campaign, though? That's my main question here. Where do you see them finishing the campaign? Champions League places? Maybe even winning the Premier League title? Or Europa League? Europa Conference League? Or do you think they'll suffer a massive drop-off that they may miss out altogether? I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling about this Nottingham Forest outfit down below in that comment section. Otherwise, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.